What's good, family? It's your guy every day, dropping edits every day, showcasing my work from music videos, documentaries, the funniest mashups, and looking at one of my latest projects, Revamp. Got footage waiting to be transformed? Let me bring that to life. Send me your clips today and watch your vision turn into magic. Let's make it happen. What's good, people? It's your guy every day. Shout out to the crew and the gang, man. Let's tap into this one, man. First, I want to say thank you to Supreme Understanding, man. While we was out there in Atlanta, this brother invited us to his home, allowed me to take out my camera and just capture the conversations we was having. And it was such a dope meet. We met another guy out there called Daddy Grace. You're gonna see, man. You're gonna see in the footage that we was just there chopping up some knowledge, giving some wisdom, and it is what it is, man. Hopefully you guys like this one, man. Let's tap in.
Peace. If you don't know who I am, it's okay. What I do is I write books to change the hood, and my name is Supreme Understanding because my book's about giving people perspective. The best perspective you can get on things and on life, and that requires us digging a little bit deeply. So my books dig a little bit deeper than any book that you've probably seen before. It's one of them. It's called The Hood Health Handbook. What we did with this book, we got brothers going healthy again. You know what I mean? Because we've been killing ourselves for such a long time that it was time for a change. So when you see a lot of Atlanta rappers start making changes in their life, just know there was brothers like me that played a major role in putting books like these in their hands directly. You know, when you see brothers like my brother Waka Flocka going vegan, you see brothers like T.I. and all them getting real political. I made it my business to make sure that I influence the influencers. I made it my business to make sure that we got these works into the hands and the minds that was going to be influencing the masses. So when you see us moving towards more political and conscious content in the music out here in Atlanta, just know that this is my work. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. You know, people said they lost all faith in Young Thug. Why? He a young man just like you was once. If they'd have given you a mic when you was 19, 20, you'd have said some bullshit too. So they gave that man a mic and $1 million check. What you gotta give them though is the righteousness to know that there's another way to see life. That's why I made sure I gave my brother a book when I seen him. You know what I mean? Anybody I know that's doing it, I'm putting a book in their hand, I'm putting a jewel in their ear. And that's what you should be doing. And if you need them jewels, that's what we do. Supreme Design Online or SupremeUnderstanding.com. That's where you find the curriculum for changing the world. What I teach is how to create a new reality. And that new reality begins with you. Begins with you changing the way that you think and live. And then by your influence, changing everything around you. Your family, your circle, your community, and eventually, when you're powerful enough, because you've been using these principles the way that you had that power, you're influencing the world. So let's get with this mission. Peace.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, there's one of us there that can teach you the knowledge.
Right, that's what we do. Everybody right about now can say a 5% told them some shit that helped them.
No matter what you do, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the jewel. That's the jewel.
But at the same time, it could be, you know what I'm saying, that 5% is gonna pass that spliff and add to the conversation. It ain't gonna be outside the circle. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, we everywhere. We
Can't
in
clean
every
up the
world.
people. I'm sorry, man. You can't clean up the people unless you get dirty.
But that's what
That's the best way.
That's
I
how
can
somebody
explain it to
defined
you.
that we not, when he said Allah said we not holy.
We're righteous.
You know what I mean? We righteous because you can't put something holy in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But we be in the toilet
Right.
of the world.
But that's what makes
no.
us
But
effective.
that's the whole reason why the father in the nation had that, because he wanted to be kind of in the streets.
He was. That was his life anyway.
Yeah, that was his thing.
He
They
wasn't
were trying to
being
limit
nothing, he
him.
Yeah.
They wanted to limit him. He was there already. To him, he was already doing both. I'm over here, and I'm up over here taking care and doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It was the people with the structure that was saying, hey, you're over here with us. You can't be over there doing that. It was like, word, then fuck it. I ain't going to be over here. I'm going to be over here.
See, we kind of, I've been saying this lately, man, for those that understand the cycles of history, we in 1966 all over again. You know, it looked like 2016, but only to a new person that ain't aware of what was going on in 1966. For those that was aware in 1966, you know, see, back then, you had a lot of young men and women running around. They had a little bit of knowledge because Malcolm was popping. You know what I mean? The teachings was in the streets, but they couldn't be participants in that mosque culture because they smoked, they drank, they were in the streets, they was doing their thing.
And that's how the older guys always explained it to me, man. One of the older guys explained it. He said Islam was already in the streets. Nobody wanted to submit to the regimen of going into the nation and selling the pies and doing all that other stuff, but people were very fond of Malcolm, and because of Malcolm, they was fond of Elijah. So everybody wanted to get their hands on the lessons. You know what I'm saying?
What's beautiful, God? Elijah was fond of us.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of Muslims didn't realize when they were so angry with Allah. when somebody finally asked Farrakhan, what did Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, think of the 5 percenters? Elijah said, leave them alone. They studying what I taught and they doing what I said to do.
Right. He said they
doing the right
studying
thing.
with the prophet questioned of me. That's what he said. That's what he said. They're studying how the prophet, questioned me, how Allah questioned me. You know, that was the jewel. That was the blessing there.
See, we've been keeping up this culture. We never went through no period. When Allah returned, we went through about a year of just deep depression, losing our father. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of guys are still traumatized from that one event because they lost their father. You know what I mean? Some of them didn't have a father, then they got a father, then they lost a father. You know? And yet they still kept teaching because 1971 we had the first show and prove and we brought the culture back.
Right.
And ever since then we've been on it. It wasn't
Right.
1970.
No, 71 was the
71.
first show approved. Yes.
So, you know, just showing that like we gonna be here perennially. We gonna be here eternally. We was here before this. See, this tradition is one where it's really just a way of manifesting the God in man. There's always a tradition for that present on the earth. It's just not well known to all people because if it was, then the egotistical and the weak-minded would use it to be devious.
Right, of course.
See, people use this same knowledge we got and they use it for financial gain. But the thing about that is it only bring you pain.
Not only financial gain, man, you have people now who is using the knowledge to be put on a pedestal, to be put on the forefront. That's what we're seeing now. There's a lot of brothers, older.
The celebrity conscious world.
Yeah, exactly. Like, put me on a pedestal. I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one. That whole mentality.
I am glad though that in my even like the Breakfast Club or whatever, there's certain cats on there, the Farrakhans, the Umars, actually they're getting the floor to speak and they can actually just say like, yeah, white supremacy, this, that, and there's nobody interjecting or trying to sugarcoat anything. Like
Yeah, homie.
it wasn't like that before.
The shit that crashed Netflix, Luke Cage.
Right.
This Luke Cage shit they talking about knowledge of self and then everybody with
Community
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Homie, I'm about to start wearing a fucking hoodie with bullet holes in it, bro.
Right.
Because it's showing that the people is like moving towards like you got elder scholars like Boyce Watkins and them, and they, if you say the black man is God to them, they not gonna say no.
Yeah.
They just gonna say we not ready to tell the people that yet.
Yeah.
And you're right. We're not ready to tell the people that if you getting this right now, you getting a jewel because you getting something so authentic that this might used to only happen in basements, but now we done established ourselves. God, we done built to be able to be in spaces like this, to be able to live in spaces like this, and to create realities like this because we use the mathematics to make real things happen.
Because to strip it down, God, when you say that you are God, all you're doing is taking responsibility for yourself. That regardless of what happens to me, right, wrong, or indifferent, is based off of my deeds and actions. That's it.
Woo!
That's
Yeah.
it. I am
That
taking
reverses the
responsibility for myself.
That victim shit is over.
Yeah. That there's no God in the sky making sure I have a good day, and there's no devil in the ground making sure I have a bad day. That all that happens to me, right, wrong, or indifferent, is the result of my deeds and actions. When you're able to strip it down like that, how can anybody be mad at that?
And that's why we taking the masses from that little bit of consciousness they got to seeing that the next step is righteousness. See, we gonna show them that it's more than just knowing about shit. Yeah, you know about the chemtrails, you know about the GMOs, you know about Fox News, and you know about the lies, and you know about all the politics that's being played on you. Okay, now you know. But then you be in despair because like, what the fuck do you do?
Right.
Oh, now you live righteous. This is how you end the devil's civilization in one day because you got to end them in your head first.
Yeah.
Because they ever
The first
present in your
devil
head.
you have to kill is within yourself.
Right. Homie, the moment every time you're going outside and you looking at another motherfucker like he a threat or he an enemy, that's devil in you. You've been programmed to think like that. That motherfucker might be as scared of you as you is of him. But you can't even accept that reality because you like, I gotta process things as an oppositional reality between my own people. Be happy you see a white motherfucker in the hood sometimes. This is some sick thinking, you know what I mean?
Well, let's take it to the next level, God, because in dealing with the science of, that we deal with in our culture and everything, God, it's like you have to understand that Satan comes from a Latin word which means an obstacle in your path. You make devil every day because as soon as you set a goal, there's said opposition to reach goal. That said opposition is devil. Anything that's going to keep you from reaching the point that you want to do, and we're out here setting goals all the time. And as soon as you set that goal, you know what else you're doing? You're making devil. Why? Because there's certain things that you need to overcome to reach that goal.
So devil's necessary.
Devil's part of the process. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, ain't no light without dark.
Come on.
Ain't no up without down.
Come on.
You gonna accept pleasure, you better accept pain.
And when Elijah came with the quote unquote white man as the devil, that was the greatest opposition at the time. You know what I'm saying? He's still an opposition. But think about the other
But now we're at the point where we
Yeah,
realize,
yeah.
oh shit, hold on, looking at that
It's a-
mirror like,
it's a lot
I see that motherfucker in the mirror.
time.
That motherfucker in the mirror looking right back at me
But
now.
this is the jewel when you get into who is the colored man. Because when you deal with colors, colors deals with opposition. That's why when you look at sports teams and any people that are competing, they wear different colors to differentiate from the sides.
Contrast.
You see what I'm saying? So the Caucasian is just an example. If you see these characteristics in anybody,
That's the devil.
that's a devil.
It's the devil is the reality of opposition. Like the devil is the thing that causes you to grow. See, we made devil 6,000 years ago to give ourselves a chance to become more righteous. See, this is why I do books like this book right here. This book is all history. All our history, the majority of it is like literally like 2 million years of history here, black history. And it stops like about 2000 BC, so it barely talk about white folks. Because there's no white history before 4000 BC. So I got little mentions of people when, you start seeing white people coming into the civilization and tearing it up. But the majority of it is our history. You think we ain't had no problems? We had droughts, famines, wars, fucking volcanoes exploding, killing off half
How
the
about
people.
this? We had people doing fucked up shit.
Right.
How about that one? You know, like if you think that those ways and actions and characteristics that
Right.
we see didn't exist before he came, where do you think it came from?
Exactly.
If you look at
Oh,
motherfucker
really
that
crazy.
lie 100% of the time, where did it come from? But a motherfucker like us that lied some of the time,
Yaakov
half
was
of
an
the
original
time.
man, the father of the devil, and taught the devil to do devilishment. You know that, and that's the real game of it all.
And this is why we ain't anti-white or pro-black.
Word.
We anti-devilishment and
And
pro-righteousness. And that's because this teaching ain't a teaching that just popped up 50 years ago. No, this is a teaching of all ages. This is the secret teaching of all ages, Manly P. Hall once said. The secret teaching of all ages is that us being original, us being the source, us being the creator, right? That's the science of the blackness. Is this what you come from? You know what I mean? The blackness reminds you that you from the source. Just like you was built on the Andaman Islanders. Yeah, that's in this book because, homie, they jet black. Like, they so dark black, I had a hard time printing the pictures and shit. Like, but this is showing you where we come from because that's the fabric of the cosmos. The blackness of space. There's a thing called Bach globules. Look, I'm about to put it in the book. In here, we talk about science and cosmos and all that. This is before even humans was on the planet. I'm talking about when we was here, before there was man to talk about. You know what I mean? Because we was here. We was here as an atom. We was here as a cell. We was here. Because we was always here as this. When you die, you're going to be here. You don't got to be a disembodied spirit floating around. That's what people imagine in their own fantasies. Like, they want to see somebody, so they see a ghost.
Right.
You want to see a mirage, you see a fucking oasis of water. If you want to see something, you can see it. You know what I mean? It's a projection of your own mind. But our permanence is not in being seen, but in our seeing. We the all-eye seeing. Not just the all-seeing eye, but the all-eye seeing, which means through all eyes we see. So we present as the consciousness of all, even down to the fucking bacteria. Because, homie, if we all burn down to the ground, we still here. We done seen universes come and go. And it took that brother Farad to come and bring that shit from all the way from the east and bring it to us. And that's why I'm thankful for him, because a lot of times we didn't know what the mission was.
Right.
For a long time, we didn't know why we got it this way. Homie, like the guys struggled. You know how many guys have committed suicide? Real shit. Because this is not an easy path to live.
Word.
It's fucking depressing as fuck, to be honest with you.
You take responsibility for yourself. I'm God. I'm taking responsibility for myself. That's weight. That's weight.
To see another person that's supposed to be God and fall short,
Come on.
and they ain't holding you down, like now you really by yourself?
Come on.
Then you go back to this lesson, because we got a lesson to say, I came to North America by myself. So we have something to refer back to give us perspective.
Yep. That put it in perspective when you see the others fall to the wayside. That's how you know when it's real. You know, I'm an elder and the firstborn in the community that I come from, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. in my community, in my peer group.
Right.
When I'm around now, nobody is from my peer group. Everybody I've seen come into the knowledge. Nobody is there that's seen me come into the knowledge.
You the last.
Yeah. So
But that's the nature of this culture.
It
See, that's the
is.
nature of this culture.
It
We gotta
is.
appreciate that shit. Bro, like what y'all got, just by you getting that shit from Cypher, even in the parts you got it from, homie, you got something that very few people on your side of the country ever seen.
And the jewel is,
That's why you still here.
right. But the jewel is, and this is the blessing of these teachings, man, when you realize what type of vehicle that you are, that it isn't about you. It's about where you come from and who you give it to, so that you can have everlasting life.
That's the culture you keep by giving it away. That's the way you keep this. You gotta give this away. That's why I give it so hard. I give it because I know I ain't gonna be sustained if I just have it for my own edification.
Right.
That's why I have my family here with me today. Because I want y'all to see that this is the manifestation of the mission and the vision.
It's like having an album and nobody to hear it.
Right.
What if Thriller never came out and it was just his demo that he had in his CD or 8-track?
Exactly.
I was really saying CD player.
And this truth is the realest shit ever. This truth is the motherfucking greatest thriller you could ever motherfucking get.
Right.
When you really understand this shit in context, and then what we was about to say about the devil is like, man, the white man is not that big of a fucking deal.
He's
We have
not.
been through worse shit.
He's not. He's
We've
not.
been here for hundreds of thousands of years. That motherfucker only been here for 6,000, only been out the caves for 4,000.
Just an example.
So he really struggling with his own lack of identity. The reason why they mad is because they don't know who their daddy is. Well, they know who their daddy is. They mad at their daddy. You know what I mean? Because you their daddy. You know what I mean? And they lost their mama because they ain't got no homeland. That's why they
Right.
call themselves Caucasian, because the last memories being in the Caucasus Mountains, and they don't know where they was before that.
Right.
They don't know nothing about Pilon,
Right.
which is why we gotta teach them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why we here to teach
Teach.
all the human families on planet
Teach.
Earth. That's why Allah had to take that hate out of us, because we was angry. We was angry, like, you remember with the Harlem Six? You know what I mean?
Come on,
We was doing the most.
Yo, let me tell you, I've heard elders speak about the times when they seen a law walking with Barry Gothard and Mayor Lindsay hand in hand in the arms, and how that affected them. They was like, yo, like you out here marching with these, you know, like what a law
They
was
was calling
doing.
them sellout, all the other groups.
Yeah, come on, it was mad at the law.
Fucking motherfuckers were trying to kill them for that
Right,
shit.
come on. But Allah was trying to run his program. He was running his program. He was running his program. He was like, I'm not going to be anti anybody. If you're for me, if you're going to help me add on and do into my program, then I'll mess with you. You know, one of the beauty things, man, and this is one of the things that we have to ask ourselves, because one of the things that I love to do when we talk about Allah, because a lot of the information that we get about Allah all comes from his sons. Only testimony that we have of Allah physically saying something in his own words is the Otisville tapes.
Yeah.
And to me, that alleviates a lot of controversy that a lot of people was dealing with. But I brought up the Otisville tapes because one of the things that Allah did in the Otisville tapes was that he said that Barry Gothard's wife left him because he was a 5%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in that tape, he says, yo, his wife left him. You know, why? Because he was a 5%. Allah say that. I'm not making this up. He says that in the tape.
Translation, he
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you too much.
Yeah.
That shit's still going on today.
But peep out the jewel though, because Barry Gothard never refers to himself as a 5%, but Allah referred to him as a 5%. You know, so that made me question the concept of
What it means to be.
a 5%. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if you ask Barry Gothard, you know, who's gone now, but if you ask him, he would say, oh, no, I'm not a 5%. But here we have on Otisville, we have Allah saying and referring to Barry Gothard as a 5%, and saying his wife left him because he's a 5%.
Spark.
But I say that to say that whatever role Barry Gothard had in Allah's life, you know what I'm saying, he considered him as such, as far as what he was doing for him in his program and what he was doing. You know, as far
So
as
then it make you think about what it mean to be the 5%.
exactly. You know, because because to me, when you deal with the 5%, you're talking about the minority who deals with truth.
Right.
You know, when you look at it, when you deal with that 16th degree of the 1 to 40, when they start talking about the poor righteous teachers of the planet Earth, they describe, they who are the poor righteous teachers of the planet Earth. Who are the 5% of the poor part of the planet Earth? They are the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10%, who are all wise and know who the true living God is, and teach that the true and living God is the Son of Man, the supreme being, the black man of Asia. Those who teach freedom, justice, and equality to all the human families of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, Muslims and Muslim sons. Now, when you break that degree down, they describe a lot of different people. A lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? You have poor righteous teachers, you know, which are, when I think of a poor righteous teachers, I think of Buddha, I think of Jesus, people who are giving it to you for nothing. They don't want anything from you. I'm just giving it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Themselves.
Yeah, exactly. To give this to you. Those who don't believe in the teachings of the 10%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would think of a Black Panther.
Can we stop for a moment, homie? Do you know how hard it is to let go of the teachings of the 10%?
Come on.
Like, to let go of self-hatred in a real way. To let go of self-doubt in a real way. To let go of believing everything that you see and that come into your feed. Because we went from not believing what's on TV to believing what's in our phones. You got grown men scared to kill the clowns now because they seen it on the phone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just had my kids bang me in the head with that. I was like, what? I was
Same
like,
thing
clown,
today,
my
Hey, me and the guy just filmed the video. Y'all put on the clown mask and shit.
babies. Bullshit everywhere. Yo. But I say all this that when you deal with that 16th degree, it describes a lot of people. So in that, I say that there's an exclusiveness that exists to what our teachings is because we are Allah's 5%. Because when you deal with that definition, like I said, you got the price teachers.
We got specific tradition.
Yeah, a specific tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I deal with that and I look at that and I say, okay, Elijah's talking about his father. Because even in that, you talk about Muslims and Muslim sons. Muslim sons, white folks. You see what I'm saying? So they're describing a lot of different people. Who are we in that? You know what I'm saying? Where are we in that? We are Allah's 5%. We're the ones that's following his program. That's the small percentage of people who are dealing with his truth.
Right. And that truth is the truth that is lacked by almost 95% of everybody else.
And like we was building earlier today when we was talking about religion across the board has the same moral code. Who and what is God differs. The moral code exists.
You know who is the
board.
author of all religions?
Who?
Motherfuckers like us.
Yeah, indeed.
That's the author of all religions. If you look at where all religions come from, it was a brother or a group of brothers involved in raising up a prophet to teach a teaching that would take humanity to the next level in their evolution.
Yes.
Jesus came to try to teach that world about compassion and love because at that time, you got to think this is the Roman Empire. Was there any compassion and love in the Roman Empire?
And then he coming out of Judaism.
Not right, and
And they banging
corruption there. Right.
And they banging on him about how you fucking up our traditions the same way the nations was banging on the law about how you messing up this tradition. And what did Jesus say? I didn't come to break it. I came to fulfill it.
Right.
I came to fulfill it. You see what I'm saying? But there's a 5% that exists in everybody or across the board because the moral code is the same. If you're a Christian and deal by the,
right.
I'm not agreeing with the mystery God signs. I'm talking purely the moral code. 10 Commandments, good shit to live by.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you are, good shit. Good shit. I don't agree on who you see and who and what is God. The moral code is the same. So when we start talking about the 5%, the elite, the people who is following the rules, that's who you're talking about with the 5%. We are Allah's 5%, the Father's 5%.
Hey God, you ever worry about dying from this shit?
Dying from these teachings?
From living this life?
I thought it came with the territory, to be honest with you.
I feel you.
I thought it just came with the territory.
I think that's why it's so rare.
I don't have.
Because who want to do that?
Yeah. I put it to you this way: I don't want to live forever. So my attitude is whatever.
Why not live with meaning?
Come on, live with meaning.
And that's what this culture is really about. Because once you move from that victim mindset, that follower mindset, that I just want to go along to get along mindset, and you encounter something like this This ain't no easy road. Nowadays, I don't even help people find no guys or teaching. I said, go look around. Just like the brother that gave you the knowledge, he had to fly all the way from the UK to Harlem just to get it.
And I didn't have to fly. I took a 5-hour flight from LA to Harlem to the root. It goes back
now
to,
they won't take a 30-minute bus ride.
come on, man. It goes back to one of the things they I lost my thought just that quick, but yeah, I'm nice and saucy right now.
Shit, but you quoted that degree shop as a motherfucker.
Oh, you know that.
See what I'm saying?
If you can't give him that degree, y'all, come on, man. You can't give him that degree. But it took me a few times. I was like, duck, and then it came out.
Motherfucker criticize that, they can't even be real. You know what I mean? They ain't lived this life long enough.
How many drinks did they see me pour before I go do it? Talk turkey, not bacon.
Right.
So what would your message? When's the last time you went to the UK? What, 2005?
2005, man. I can't wait to go back.
You need to come back,
I'm looking
man.
forward to it, man.
I've never.
We've come along.
We going together, bro. That's what we're
Yeah.
gonna work on.
Okay.
That's the mission.
Okay.
Now.
I would love to go because, like I said, my
I'm
music
open
has
for
been
you.
wanting to bring me. Yeah, you
I'm
do
open.
that. I would love for you to come out there. Let's give a lecture before I go.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
I
open.
would love that idea.
There's people we work with who bring other people over from the UK for lectures and things like that.
You know what we give the people of the UK? We will give the people of the UK the perspective they've been missing. Because, see, they are detached people, right? What happened was they left their homelands because their homelands was oppressed by the devil, right? But then they went to a place where the racism and the white supremacy was different, right? And because the UK never focused on a specific campaign of miseducation on the original people, right? Not a specific campaign, you know what I mean? It was kind of implicit. See, in the West, you was miseducated on purpose. You was taught to be other than yourself. But in the UK, you got people that still got some of their roots. They still got some of their Caribbean heritage. They still got some of their Nigerian heritage. They still got some of that, you know what I mean? That African teaching in their background, but because they detached and they displaced, there's not that grounded perspective to say, why are we here and what are we here for?
Brother,
And we're going to give it to them.
No
Because that's what we're here for.
No question.
you said it there.
That's what we're here for. That's what the 5% exists for. Homie, after I die, it's going to be another one to do the same work I do. That's why I take no problem with this. Because I love what I do while I'm doing it, and I don't need to do it forever.
Because Allah is one.
Allah is one.
And all when you start talking about one, you're talking about connection. You know? And connection comes with a lot of things. Our knowledge degree and our supreme alphabet, when you start talking about king, you start talking about lineage. Your father ruled before him, his grandfather, and all thing. And it's the same thing with these teachings. We have the one man that came to us, which was Allah in 1964, and we are his sons and descendants. That's knowledge. We come from the one. And knowledge borns wisdom. And we will continue the way. I knowledge who's the one, the first one that came, and I, since he's not here anymore, will continue the way. Have you not heard that your word shall be bond regardless of whom or what? And bond is a connection.
That's what brings us all together right here.
A connection.
We got a blood bond, a physical bond, and a mental bond.
Think about the bonds that brought everybody here in this room today. I am connected to him. He said, hey, you guys is over here. They 5%ers. You know what? I'm coming. The bond. The connection. I've known this brother for some time. It's been a minute. This is actually the first time we got to kick
Physically,
it, physically
right.
marinate like this. But then you guys are
years
here.
now.
But think about.
And I ain't been on, you know what I mean, been on y'all side since 2005.
But think about what we feel just right now, sitting here in the time period that we're been here together right now. The connection to the one. And our supreme alphabet tells us who's the one. Allah. We all together here because he was out in 64 doing his damn thing.
He was doing it for the same reason we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't for him, then who would it be?
Right.
Peace, y'all.
Peace to the gods.
Peace, my brother.
Thank you for the opportunity, y'all. Thank you very much, man. Very, very much, man. Very, very much. Talk.
Hope you guys enjoyed that one, man. Salute to Supreme Understanding. Go check out the website, buy a book, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. If you loved what you saw, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more creative edits. Want to support? Consider donating to help me create even more epic content. And don't forget to grab your exclusive merch at the website, link in my bio. Every purchase supports the channel. It's your guy every day. I'm out.